At the top of page 20, you'll see some steps. There are 5 steps, and of course, the first step says read the problem. And then what we're going to do, since all of these will be written, these are actually made so you can write them in slope-intercept form. Okay, not all word problems are like this. So this is a certain type of word problem where you can solve them by writing it in slope-intercept form. So that's y equals mx plus b. So after you read the problem, you want to identify what the equation, what you're solving for in the equation, what will y represent. Circle any important items. Numbers are definitely important. Step 4, you want to find the rate of change. So you're looking for words that will say each or per or every day or something like that that would represent your rate of change. Now, if you look up here, rate of change is your slope. Okay, that's just another name for slope. So when you see those words and it says like 10 per hour, then you know the 10 would be the rate of change. It will replace the m. Find the initial starting point, which is like your b. Your b is your constant when you have this in slope-intercept form. So it says you and 3 friends want to rent a limo for prom. The limo costs a fee of $50 plus $200 per hour. So here is your rate of change number right here. So what I would do is circle 50 and the $200 per hour. And since this has the word per by it, that's my rate of change. So that number would go beside x. And the $50 that you will pay just for like your fee, that will be your y-intercept. That's not changing. So you're going to pay, even if you rented the limo for, 8 hours, you're still going to pay the fee of that plus $50. So that's not going to change. This can change. Obviously, your rate of change will be based on how many hours you actually rent the limo. Okay? So it says you and your friends now each have $300, which totals to $1,200. So this total, okay, because right here will give us the total cost. Your total then will replace the variable y. So if it gives you the total, and not all, this is actually the only problem that gives you the total. The rest you're solving for the total. But for this particular one, they give you the total of $1,200. So you're going to replace y with $1,200. So how many hours can you afford to rent the limo? Knowing that you have $1,200, it costs $200 per hour plus the $50 fee. How many hours can you rent this limo? So obviously we're solving for x. X will give us the number of hours. So let's just solve it like you normally do an equation. Subtract 50 from both sides. So that's going to give you 1150 equals to 200x. Okay, divide by 200. And x comes out to be 5.75 hours. Now, 5.75 hours, if we change that to minutes, would be 5 hours. And how many minutes? 45 minutes. Okay, so that would be the answer. So that is how long you could rent the limo if you and your 3 friends only had $1,200. All right, so let's take a look at question number 1. Okay, that was the example first. Write an equation for each situation. Use slope-intercept form. So we know that's y equals mx plus b. And then it says, answer the questions below using the equation. So Joey's long-distance service charges him a fee of 15 cents plus 6 cents each minute. So here's my rate of change to 6 cents each minute. And we're going to write 6 cents as 0.06x. Plus, there is a fee of 15 cents. So that's plus 0.15. Okay. So the question is, if Joey spent 23 minutes talking to Phoebe, how much would the phone call cost? So we're looking for the total cost. So where do you think I'm going to replace 23 minutes will be replaced with what variable? X or Y? X. Because remember it says 6 cents per minute. All right, so you're going to go ahead and multiply 0.06 times the 23 and then add 15 cents and see what the total cost would be. Okay, if someone would let me know. How much? All right, $1.53. Is that correct? All right, and we are going to use a dollar sign since we're talking about money. Just make sure you use the dollar sign. Okay. All right, let's take a look at example 2. Rachel pays a $25 registration fee and $60 a day. So that's like per day. So that is your rate of change, just $60 a day. So I'm going to have 60, y equals 60x, plus the $25 registration fee. Now, it says, if Emma spends 5 days in daycare, how much should Rachel expect to pay for the daycare service at the end of the week? So where will I replace the 5? X, very good. So 60 times 5 is 300 plus 25. She would then pay a total of $325. Any questions on that? All right, so like I said, you'll be doing page 21. All of these follow the same type of setup for the most part because you're writing them in slope-intercept form and then figuring out, they give you the information so you can figure out your slope and your y-intercept. Okay?